Once upon a time in the bustling streets of the UK, the Arcadia Group stood tall as a retail giant. In the year 2002, a new player emerged in the retail industry, ready to leave its mark. This was the Arcadia Group, an entity that would soon be synonymous with the UK's high street fashion. Born out of a merger between Burton Menswear and Dorothy Perkins, the Arcadia Group was destined for greatness. It was a conglomerate that owned some of the most iconic brands, including the youth-focused Topshop and Topman. These brands were not just labels, they were trendsetters and lifestyle statements for many. As the company expanded, its reach went beyond the borders of the UK. Stores sprang up across the globe, from the heart of New York City to the bustling streets of Sydney. The Arcadia Group was not just a retail company, it was a global phenomenon. At its peak, the Arcadia Group was more than just a retail giant. It was the largest privately owned clothing retailer in the UK, with over 500 stores nationwide and over 2,000 globally. It was a powerhouse that employed over 44,000 people, contributing significantly to the UK's economy. The brands under the Arcadia Group were not just about clothing, they were about creating an experience. Shoppers were not just buying a piece of garment, they were buying into a lifestyle, a culture. It was this unique selling point that set the Arcadia Group apart from its competitors. The Arcadia Group's success was not an accident. It was the result of strategic decisions, innovative thinking, and a deep understanding of the fashion industry. The company's leadership knew what the customers wanted and delivered it with style and flair. In the world of retail, the Arcadia Group was a titan. It was a beacon of success, a symbol of how a company could rise from humble beginnings to become a global powerhouse. At its zenith, the Arcadia Group was the epitome of retail success. Enter Sir Philip Green, the man who would lead Arcadia Group into its golden years and ultimately its downfall. In 2002, the fashion retail landscape was forever changed when Sir Philip Green acquired the Arcadia Group. His dynamic management style and keen business acumen initially drove the company to remarkable heights. With brands like Topshop and Topman under its wing, Arcadia was a force to be reckoned with, dictating trends and captivating audiences across the United Kingdom. Green's reign was nothing short of extraordinary, at least in the beginning. He was a maverick, a risk-taker, and his audacity seemed to pay off. Under his leadership, Arcadia Group was thriving, flourishing and expanding. But beneath this glitzy veneer of success, there were whispers and murmurs of controversies that would soon blemish Green's reputation and the company's image. Sir Philip Green was known for his extravagant lifestyle, one that was filled with luxuries most could only dream of. His ostentatious displays of wealth and power were often at odds with the reality of running a retail empire. This disconnect between Green's personal extravagance and the company's financial health raised eyebrows and sparked debates about his leadership. Moreover, Green's business decisions were often questionable, to say the least. His approach to management was unconventional, and his strategies were often deemed risky. He was known to play fast and loose with corporate governance, a trait that would later contribute to the downfall of the Arcadia Group. In the midst of the glitz and glamour, the seeds of Arcadia's decline were subtly planted. Green's leadership, once hailed as visionary, was increasingly seen as reckless. His personal indulgences and controversial business decisions were creating a storm that would eventually engulf the retail giant. The warning signs were there, but they were ignored or dismissed as mere hiccups in an otherwise successful journey. Little did anyone know that these were the early symptoms of a deep-rooted problem, a problem that would lead to one of the most dramatic collapses in the history of British retail. And so, under Green's reign, the seeds of Arcadia's downfall were unknowingly sown. In the midst of Arcadia's prosperity, one brand was not so fortunate: British Home Stores. The year is 2000, and Sir Philip Green acquires the British Home Stores. It's a brand steeped in history, loved by the nation, a staple on British high streets. But under Arcadia's ownership, things take a turn for the worse. BHS struggles to stay afloat amidst the rising competition and the shift towards online shopping. For 15 years, the brand is in a constant battle, fighting for survival. A once thriving empire, BHS begins to crumble. Store closures, job losses, and falling profits paint a grim picture of the brand's future. And then in 2015, a decision is made that sends shockwaves through the retail industry. Sir Philip Green sells British home stores for a mere £1. Yes, you heard it right, £1. It's a shocking move, a symbol of the brand's downfall. The buyer, Dominic Chappell, a former racing driver with no prior retail experience, takes over the reins. But the sale of BHS is just the beginning of the storm. A year later, in 2016, the inevitable happens. British Home Stores files for bankruptcy. The once beloved brand, a staple on British high streets, disappears. Over 11,000 jobs are lost, and 164 stores are closed. The bankruptcy of BHS also uncovers a massive pension scandal. A black hole of £570 million is discovered in the company's pension fund. The scandal sparks public outrage and tarnishes Green's reputation. It's a scandal that would follow him for years to come, a stain on his legacy that he could never erase. In retrospect, the sale of British Home Stores for £1 was not just a symbol of the brand's downfall, it was an omen, a sign of things to come. It was a decision that would trigger a series of events leading to the eventual collapse of the entire Arcadia Group. The sale of BHS marked the beginning of the end for Arcadia Group. As the retail landscape changed, the once mighty Arcadia Group began to crumble. In the mid-2010s, the Arcadia Group found itself grappling with a tectonic shift in the retail industry. The rise of digital shopping had taken the world by storm, and traditional brick-and-mortar businesses like Arcadia were left scrambling to adapt. The group's brands, including the beloved Topshop and Topman, struggled to keep pace with the agility and innovation of online retailers. The company's financial struggles were not just a symptom of a changing industry. They were also a reflection of changing consumer preferences. Customers were no longer flocking to the high street for their shopping needs. Instead, they were turning to online platforms for the convenience, variety, and competitive pricing these platforms offered. Arcadia's financial woes began to mount. By 2018, the group was reporting serious losses, and a year later, it was on the brink of administration. It was a stark contrast to the heyday of the group, when it was a beacon of British retail, owning some of the most popular brands in the country. The final straw came in 2020. The global pandemic and the subsequent lockdown measures dealt a lethal blow to the already struggling Arcadia. With stores forced to close for months on end and consumers tightening their belts, the group's financial situation deteriorated rapidly. In late 2020, the once mighty Arcadia Group entered administration. The company's fall from grace was a shock to many, but it was also a stark reminder of the ruthless nature of the retail industry. Companies that fail to adapt to changing consumer preferences and industry trends risk being left behind, no matter how mighty they once were. In the end, the Arcadia Group, a titan of the retail industry, fell from grace. Its decline serves as a cautionary tale for all businesses, reinforcing the importance of innovation, adaptability, and a keen understanding of consumer behavior in a rapidly evolving marketplace. The fall of Arcadia Group sent shockwaves throughout the UK retail industry. Imagine the landscape of British high streets, once punctuated by the familiar sight of Topshop, Topman and other Arcadia brands. Now they stand empty, their once gleaming windows darkened, a testament to the seismic shift in the UK retail industry. The demise of Arcadia led to the loss of thousands of jobs and the closure of hundreds of stores, painting a grim picture of the retail sector's future. Yet, amidst the ruins, some found opportunity. ASOS and Boohoo Group, two online retail giants, swooped in to purchase Arcadia's brands. These companies recognized the value of these brands, their loyal customer bases, and their potential for online growth. This acquisition marked a major shift from traditional brick-and-mortar retail to the burgeoning world of e-commerce, a trend accelerated by the challenges of the pandemic. The lessons learned from the downfall of Arcadia are manifold. For one, the importance of adapting to changing consumer habits cannot be understated. As more and more customers shift towards online shopping, retailers who fail to keep pace risk becoming obsolete. Secondly, the value of ethical leadership has been highlighted. The controversy surrounding Sir Philip Green's management of the company underscores the need for transparency and accountability in business. Looking ahead, the future of the UK retail industry is uncertain. However, it's clear that e-commerce will play a pivotal role. The rise of online shopping, coupled with the ongoing effects of the pandemic, suggests that the retail landscape will continue to evolve. Retailers must adapt and innovate, or risk sharing the fate of Arcadia. In the end, it is a stark reminder of the transience of success in the world of business. Arcadia, once a titan of the retail industry, now serves as a cautionary tale to others. The story of Arcadia Group serves as a stark reminder: even the mightiest can fall.